Muscle is probably, I would say, the most protective when you look at the context of the health issues or chronic health ills that we suffer from in modern societies. Muscle is the most protective tissue that we have for a few reasons. One of the biggest health issues that we deal with from a longevity standpoint, from everything to heart disease to cancer and mental issues, including brain degeneration type issues, our ability to have really, really good, or should I say, to remain sensitive to our insulin levels, to be able to utilize glucose well is paramount. It's paramount, right? Developing insulin insensitivity or insulin resistance before you can even tell on a test where the doctor says, you're pre-diabetic. I mean, it happens a good 5 to 10 years before that. You start to see signs if you're really close enough. That right there is tied to so many chronic health issues. One of the best things you could do to offset that or buffer yourself against that is to build muscle. Muscle is extremely insulin sensitive, very, very insulin sensitive, to the point where there's studies on the severely obese where they don't even have them lose any weight. I'm talking about people who are like 60, 70 pounds overweight or more. They just have them build a little bit of muscle, and you see significant improvements in insulin resistance. Muscle is insulin sensitive, and muscle serves as a storage vessel for glycogen. Glycogen is what your body makes from sugar or glucose or carbohydrates, okay? So when you eat something with sugar or glucose, and you've got that, or carbohydrates, and you've got that glucose circulating in your blood, insulin goes up, and then it shuttles glucose into storage vessels, the liver being the main one, and then the rest is muscle. Big muscles, or bigger muscles, I should say, have more of a capacity. So it just sucks up that glucose. So you get incredible insulin sensitivity effects from that. You also get a metabolic boost from building muscle. Muscle is calorie expensive. It costs a lot of calories for your body to maintain muscle. Building a little bit of muscle will speed up your metabolism. Now, why is that important? Well, if you have a faster metabolism today, you are far less likely to be obese and far less likely to suffer the health consequences of obesity. Like if I could snap my fingers and speed up everybody's metabolism by 10 to 15%, we would probably solve, in a large effect, the obesity epidemic, because you're just burning more calories sitting there, right? Versus having to move more to burn those calories, which is a very ineffective approach. You're burning more calories just sitting there. So you have a faster metabolism. The other benefit is the hormonal effects that the muscle building process encourages. Just to build muscle, just trying to build muscle, your body has to organize its hormones in a way to do so. In other words, the part of the muscle building process is your body taking its hormones and moving them and shifting them so that they can fuel or drive this muscle building process. Well, what does that look like? You're more sensitive to insulin. I said that earlier. You're more sensitive to testosterone. You actually upregulate what are called androgen receptors. So the receptors that testosterone attaches to, well, you get more of them. So now your normal testosterone becomes super testosterone. Your testosterone also raises. This is both in men and women. By the way, women listening right now, testosterone is just as important for them as it is for men. They just have lower amounts. Low testosterone in women produces the same negative effects in women that it does in men. Low libido, low energy, low drive, low motivation, brain fog, that kind of stuff. So you just get better testosterone response and levels. You get a balancing of estrogen and progesterone in both men and women, but for women, this is extremely important. You get healthier growth hormone levels. This is the youth hormone, and the receptors that growth hormone attaches to also upregulate, meaning you have more of these receptors. Cortisol becomes more appropriate. So you're supposed to have cortisol that comes up in the morning, comes down at night. More muscle promotes that. So you don't have the kind of inverse, which a lot of people have. Low cortisol in the morning, they got to take a bunch of caffeine to wake up. And then at night, cortisol spikes because of stress or whatever, dysfunction, then they can't sleep. So it kind of reverses that. So your energy throughout the day, you get tired at night when the cortisol goes down, you become healthier. Muscle is so protective, in fact, that is strongly correlated to anti-cancer effects. Okay, I'll share a study with you that's quite remarkable. So I'm going to use a very unhealthy population just to prove a point. When you look at athletes, high-level athletes in all sports are not the epitome of health. Okay, contrary to popular belief, a pro football player, basketball player, pro bodybuilder, these are not the healthiest people in the world. Their job, their goal is to just perform at the highest level, and they compromise and sacrifice their health in order to do so. In fact, pro football players have a lower life expectancy than the average American because of the damage that they incur playing their sport and to the extremes that they push the body. Well, pro bodybuilders, another great example, they're not healthy. These people push their bodies to the limit with their training, diet, lifestyle, plus they add a bunch of drugs to the regimen to try to just build these insanely grotesque, bodies with crazy amounts of muscle. And they're not healthy for all intents. Anybody who knows the sport knows how unhealthy they are. Now, here's what's weird. They suffer from cancer rates that are lower, significantly lower than the average American. How's that possible? I mean, they're really beating their bodies up and they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff when it comes to performance-enhancing drugs, yet their cancer rates are significantly lower. That's because muscle is so anti-cancer that it actually not only does it negate the poor health choices that they make, they actually have an anti-cancer effect. Muscle is so anti-cancer, it's remarkable. It's actually you can lower your all across the board cancer risk by 20 to 25 to 50% just by having a more muscular physique. And that means you could do anything else. You don't have to change anything else. You just have more muscle on your body. So it's pretty remarkable. Strength is one of the best predictors of all-cause mortality. So they've done studies. Well, they do a strength test, a grip test. So there's nothing, by the way, special about grip strength other than it's a proxy for overall body strength. So if I have strong grip, probably means I have a strong body. I have a good amount of muscle on my body. A grip strength test is a better predictor of all-cause mortality than BMI. It's a better predictor of all-cause mortality than almost any other single metric. So you want muscle on your body. You want to try to build that muscle. It just makes being lean a lot easier because of the faster metabolism. So this is what most people need to aim for. They should train in a way to build muscle, feed their bodies in order to do so, and that'll help them be leaner, stay leaner, and improve their longevity. And it doesn't require as much time in the gym as, let's say, training for stamina and endurance.
If you enjoyed that clip, press here for the full episode. I'll see you over there.
The default is going to be you're going to be obese, you're probably going to develop diabetes, and you're not going to feel very good. And that's just the way it is, and you have to step outside of that in order to change things. Muscle is so protective, in fact, that is